A lot of people think Starfield was overhyped, misadvertised, or all around just a failure of a project. In reality, the short answer is no. But there are a few criticisms and things that I think could have been handled better, which I will get into in this video. In all reality, Starfield is a pretty high quality game, but at the end of the day, it still is a Bethesda game. I'll be honest, the main story is not much more than decent, but the amount of side quests, things to see, people to meet in this game is it's really sensational. One of the things that I find quite enjoyable too is the amount of extra dialogue options you get from having certain traits and backgrounds, to be honest. One thing I noticed in guides and something that I corrected in my own was that no one really brought up the fact that there was different options to do missions depending on things you've selected for your character. But when I say it's still a Bethesda game, it's little things like the AI, when they talk to you, they're faster than your walk speed, but slower than your run speed. It still has those classic Bethesda type glitches where you can fall straight through somebody's ship, or one that I've seen 2 or 3 times is enemies getting stuck into a roof or into a wall. Though these glitches aren't game breaking in any way, it's just kind of odd and annoying to see them when we've heard that this was one of the less glitchy titles Bethesda has put out. That could still be true technically. I wouldn't really say that's false advertisement. However, it's just kind of weird that so many glitches have slipped past and people are just having a lot of weird experiences within the game. Personally, for me, I really haven't seen a glitch that has like made me care that the game has glitches in it yet. I have seen enemies with their head through the roof. I thought it was funny. I'm never really too bothered by shit like that though. Another big topic that I want to touch down on is the loading screens. A lot of people assume this game would be seamless, and I understand why you would assume that. But here's where it gets interesting, is because they're never actually advertised that. They never advertise that ever. It's just people thought it would happen because of the scope of the game. Everyone was just like, wow, this is going to be a completely seamless experience. No. There are tons of loading screens. Pretty much every door is a loading screen. People called this misadvertisement, but personally, it's just like, they didn't say it, so don't expect it, right? We watched the trailers. They're not going to put loading screens in the trailers. Let's be real. And we saw the landing and taking off cutscene multiple times through the trailers. I think too many people went off their own thoughts and other people's thoughts instead of actually paying attention to the gameplay that we were shown, but it is what it is. If the experience was nearly seamless and completely open world, they would have advertised that. They did not do that, if I'm being honest. I think the scope of the game made people ignore a lot of the signs that we were shown, but though that's still kind of a transparency problem on Bethesda's half, but some people could have paid a little bit more attention instead of taking to the internet and complaining about it. Not to say the loading screens are long, they're 2 or 3 seconds at maximum for me. I don't know how long they are on like Xbox or whatever else, but I don't have a high-end PC or anything of that nature, so it's really not as bad as it seems. Though the game would be way better with less, I personally just don't have an issue with it. But let's move on to one of the main topics of the video. I feel like most people dislike Starfield because they found out it was more of a planet exploration game than a space exploration game. You can't really fly around planet to planet. Well, you technically can, but it does take ages. Comment down below and let me know how big of a problem that is for you guys in this game. Because personally, I actually kind of have a little bit of a problem with it. It doesn't impact my gameplay too much, but it's weird that a big part of this game and one of the most fleshed out parts of this game is the shipbuilding, right? Honestly though, you're mainly utilizing your ship when you're fighting enemies or depending on how you travel between planets, because some people will literally just grav jump or fast travel between planets without ever being in their ship. I know this game that I'm about to reference is a much smaller project. However, in Outer Wilds, you could like jump in, pilot your ship, and go to space all in one motion. That's what people thought this game would be like. I think that's my biggest disappointment with this game would be just the lack of space content in general, honestly. If I could go on my ship and just find things in space, that would have been way more interesting. I mean, It's not like they have to keep it realistic, because we're literally traveling between solar systems at light speed with grav jump. Though a lot of realism does need to be kept for me to personally find this game as interesting as I think it is. It just would have been cool. Imagine being able to like capture some alien species and bring it to somebody that wanted it for like 1,000,000 credits or something on your ship. That would have been sick. But outside of these main critiques, there's really nothing else wrong with the game, I think. Some people have been calling this game a huge disappointment, and for these people to say that, I just don't think they played it. And if they did play it, I feel like they just kind of ran through the main story quest and ignored all of the beauty of the game. Side quests alone have blocked out all of the main problems I've had with this game and made it gone from good to amazing. I think I've done maybe 3 of the main quests in the game outside of the tutorial mode ones, and honestly, I have been having crazy amounts of fun every time I play this game. Like, the ability to meet all of the factions and infiltrate some of them or betray some of them has been very interesting. Running the Red Mile was something I probably wouldn't have done if I didn't try to get the Star Eagle, and that was a very interesting experience, to say the least. Like, there's a few other things I really want to point out, but I'm not going to do it because I want to avoid spoilers and keep this video as free of that as possible. But like, things like the Mantis mission, which is something I did early, that was also very interesting. If you actually go and find every single voice recording, it puts together its own storyline just for that mission by itself. And the way I really put it is, it's what I think a space One Piece game would be like. Mind you, I hate One Piece though. Still, do not come in my comments talking about One Piece ever. I'm banning you immediately. And the amount of choices you have when it comes to dealing to different scenarios is very interesting. I personally play a lot of the missions where you have options to either kill someone, persuade, or betray, or whatever the case may be. A lot of the times I try to just persuade and get out without any bloodshed. However, just having the option to kill people straight up it's pretty fantastic, I'm not gonna lie. I just know that sooner or later there's gonna be a mission where I'm just fucking sick of it and I just kill off somebody and I just end it right there. And the fact is, you still have consequences for that. You don't get away for doing that. Sometimes your companions will get mad at you if you do it, or your faction will not take that very kindly, or whatever the case may be. It's just, there's always options and there's always consequences in this game. And I think the final thing I will say is, if you're like me and you're big on just nature and landscapes, this game definitely has that. Like, every time I walk on a planet and I'm just like exploring it, sometimes you'll just see the creatures killing each other, or sometimes you'll walk past a creature and if you don't have it scanned or you just don't know it, there's always just that little bit of anxiety if you're gonna get fucking attacked. However, sometimes the creatures, like even the super big ones, they're just like territorial or defensive, and they're not aggressive. Like, and it's interesting to find that out by yourself. Like, if you're just big on ecology, this game really, like, it really hits deep for me anyway. I really enjoy every single time I'm finding out something new. After you start doing something in this game, you never want to stop. Like, whether it's a quest, whether it's exploring a planet, or just building your ship, like every part of this game makes you feel extremely immersed. Anyway, that's pretty much all for this video. As you can see, this is my current rating. Once I 100% the game, I'll come back and I'll make a secondary follow-up video on this one and see how much my thoughts have changed. But let me know if you want to see some different type of content, like what content you would want to see. I'm gonna make some more guides no matter what. However, if you want to see some mod reviews and doing some deep dive on like the best mods and what mods you can add to your game to just make your experience better, let me know. And as always with all my videos, I need you to leave criticism and tell me what I could have done better in this video, what things I could remove, add, anything I could change about my videos to make you enjoy them more.